Hey, what's going on, everyone? Vega here for SerpentX Tech. Starting a little bit early because Red Panda Mining has got a pretty interesting video coming soon. So I'm just going to knock out a quick stream for you guys on this Saturday. I go as fast as I can, but I'm dropping some frames already, so it's not going to be long whatsoever. So I'll redirect you here in about 9 minutes to Red Panda Mining. But as you can see, the market's it's up comparatively over the past couple weeks. No biggie. It's fallen though since 98. You can see XMR is actually in the deep red. It's fallen 10%, but people still mining and supporting XMR. Out of all the privacy coins, especially after what happened to Zcash, down to around 400 bucks after going all the way up to almost 700. Monero's one of my favorites. So, uh, the altcoins, some of them are in deep greens, but nothing too crazy. You still have Ethereum around 3,300. Still got BNB below 1,000. What is Con? Citigroup tokenized stock. Great. You're gonna have more banks. Crypto is not the same as it was. Got a few articles that we're just gonna pump through real quick. Basically, Bitcoin pulls back to 94K as U.S. stocks sink. Precious metals double. We also have, people kind of panicking. If we look at the chart, we went all the way up to around 90, almost 98K, 97 something, 97.7. And then it dipped down, but it's not as far down. You can see this long candle here on Tuesday is basically because there was a lot of shorts that were liquidated. So, and it's not going to be a long stream, Seb, because Red Panda Mining is about to go live here. I think he messaged me, but yeah. Let me check. I'm pretty sure he's about to go live. So let's see here. 11:30. Okay, cool. He gave me a little bit more time. Sweet. But I am dropping some frames. It's starting to catch up now. I was doing some mining earlier and I didn't restart the system, which is what I usually do. But yeah, so the traditional stock market and the crypto market do kind of mix around or kind of coincide, because usually when one panics, the other one panics with it, I guess you could say. But you had a climb towards 98K. People were saying the rally is back. We're going full green. Bull market, here we go. And then we had a pullback across the board. Riot surged over 10%. Advanced micro devices, or AMD, Clean Spark, Cypher Mining, Galaxy, Iron follow suit with 5 to 8% gains. And those are the crypto miners in the broader downturn, continuing to benefit from investor optimism in the build out of AI infrastructure. So the AI hype is still kind of chilling, still kind of drawing interest. I really don't care too much for it. But by the way, there are some mining facilities. If you're a mining facility, the Wagleta team's looking to speak with you. So hit them up. Bitcoin copying a 2022 bear market rally despite 21% BTC gains. Bitcoin appears to be at the start of another bear market as price remains below the yearly moving average. The latest rebound makes clearing the trend line at 101K all the more important. We got to get up there. We got to get up to 100K, especially clearing 101K. Exchange inflows show sellers exiting the advance in advance throughout the week, right? So I think we didn't get record inflows. There was one article I thought we got record inflows. The bill, that was a bit of a disappointment. That stalled out. Bitcoin is more up 20%, 80,000, blah, 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 since November 2025. It's not enough to guarantee the lasting rebound. The reason CryptoQuant lies with the 365-day moving average. The price of Bitcoin fell by 19% as it confirmed the start of the bear market after crossing below 365-day moving average. Since then, it has rallied 19% to as high as 97.9K, approaching the 365-day moving average at 101. Let's look at that real quick. Which moving average is he talking about? He's just saying 365-day moving average. Is he talking about the yearly? No. Oh, well, I'm on a different chart, aren't I? Bitfinex. I could see on the monthly that we're kind of holding above the 50 EMA, but he's talking about the 365-day EMA. I definitely think if we got up to 100K, where was that? That's only, what's the measurement on that from where we are right now? If we make it through the weekend and get above 101K, that's only a 5% increase. I mean, that is possible, but we got to hold above that. And we're going to hit some significant resistance. You can see right now, we're bouncing off the April and March resistance. So April, March 2025 resistance is what we're bouncing off of. Actually, we could even count November 2024 resistance. The likelihood of us getting above that and pushing higher, we need a lot. We need more inflows, and we need a significant milestone to happen. I think that significant milestone is the bill, the Clarity Act, to get corrected and submitted and finalized. Total Bitcoin flowing into exchanges has picked up in the last 7-day average of 39K BTC, the largest inflow volume since November 25th, 2025. Higher inflows to exchanges can indicate escalating selling pressure ahead, says CryptoQuant. And some of that selling pressure is actually because people like this guy, what's his name? Jeffrey strategist Christopher Wood. Christopher Wood dropped Bitcoin from his greed and fear portfolio, citing quantum computing as a potential existential threat to cryptography. Now, we talked about this, and the quantum threat is something that the Bitcoin community needs to be aware of, but they're working on improvements, BIPs, Bitcoin improvement proposals, to make Bitcoin quantum resistant. And I already talked about some of the things that you or the end user can do to protect themselves or to just better prepare themselves against the quantum computing threat. So I don't think it's like panic time, and I think we're still years away from quantum computing really being that big of an issue to blockchain or the crypto ecosystem. But it is something that I did talk about a lot. I wasn't trying to, if I did in fact kind of add to the concern or the panic, I am sorry. I just really wanted to make sure that you, the end user, is educated, because more importantly, the Satoshi era wallets are at risk. And if the Satoshi era wallets, we're seeing them move stuff, that doesn't always mean they're selling stuff, even though we have seen some Satoshi era wallets actually sell some crypto. If they're just moving stuff because those older wallets are susceptible to being broken, then that's good. They're just moving money around to secure their financing, to secure their future, to secure whatever Bitcoin they have. So I wouldn't be panicky about that. And I'm not sure if you're talking about when, but Red Panda is going to be going live here at 11:30. So we got half an hour. Let me refresh this, make sure. Yeah, cool. So we're just doing a quick stream, not a full hour. Are there older wallets, or their older wallets got hacked? That is true, and we did talk about that. So if some of my concern that I raised to you, the community, was some of the Satoshi wallets that were moving funds, my question was, is it the original Satoshi era person, the person that was really the true OG, mining the wallets, buying the Bitcoin, whatever it might be, and they got compromised, they got their wallet hacked, maybe they, passed away and a family member got it, maybe a family member or a friend stole it, it could be a number of things. There's no real way to tell, all right, this wallet is connected to this person until that person publicly announces, like, hey, here's my wallet address. And then you could go check the blockchain for the transaction. Now, there is a way to do some chain analysis and follow it, but the point is the quantum threat. I wouldn't say go and sell all your Bitcoin because the quantum threat is upon us. It is a real threat, but it is a threat that the Bitcoin ecosystem and devs are working to mitigate. And then you, the end user, has to take steps to also mitigate those issues. Matter of fact, let's just read this article, get it out the way. Christopher Wood, global head of equity strategy at Jefferies, has eliminated Bitcoin from his flagship greed and fear model portfolio, citing concerns of developments in quantum computing could pose an existential threat to cryptocurrency cryptography's foundations. In the latest edition of the widely followed newsletter, Wood confirmed that Jefferies has removed its entire 10% Bitcoin allocation, replacing it with split allocation of 5% to physical gold and 5% to gold mining equities, according to Bloomberg. The strategist said the move reflects rising uncertainty over whether Bitcoin can maintain its role as a sole-term store of value in the face of accelerated technological change. While greed and fear does not believe the quantum issue is about to hit the Bitcoin price dramatically in the near term, the store of value concept is clearly on less solid foundation from the standpoint of long-term pension portfolio. Like, basically, don't plan to hang on to Bitcoin for 10 plus years. You need to do something with it in the next 7 is basically what they're saying. I don't agree with that. I am dropping some frames. Let me know if you guys can't hear me, or if I'm breaking up. But that's basically it. Since the initial conclusion, Bitcoin has risen approximately 325% compared to 145% gain in gold over the same period. Gold is still doing very well. It's not a bad idea to be diversified and have multiple assets in your portfolio. Despite the strong performance, Woods argues that quantum computing presents a structural risk that cannot be ignored. Bitcoin security relies on cryptographic algorithms that are effectively unbreakable using classical computers. However, sufficient powerful quantum machines could theoretically derive private keys from public keys, enabling unauthorized transfers and undermining confidence in network. And I did mention in my full quantum video that some of these public keys for those Satoshi era wallets, or so for those legacy wallets, have been out there for quite some time. People have been working on that for quite some time, whether it's brute force or whatever that takes forever. These public keys are out there. So we'll see. I just don't think it's time to. I don't think this article is kind of stoking more fear. Is basically what I'm saying. This article specifically is stoking more fear. Not that I'm thinking that they're intending to just informing the public of what Jefferies or these people are doing, Christopher Wood, but still, we'll see. I will say I am kind of getting disappointed because you can see here Con, right? And I looked at this earlier if you guys weren't here in the stream. And this is Citibank. Now Citigroup, tokenized stock. We're going to see more and more of these banks create their own tokenized stock, tokenized asset, tokenized this, whatever, blah, 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 tokenized cars, babies, ducks. And it's going to get stupid, right? Kind of like it is with the meme coins on Solana. It's going to get stupid. I hope that we can do things a little bit more efficiently and with purpose, right? Not just creating tokens just to speculate and to create bullshit, but actually tangible benefits. We'll see. But if all the banks create their own token, are the investors that we need to come into Bitcoin and to, push inflows up for Ethereum, Bitcoin, or whatever asset, just going to go to these stupid banks, which again is the opposite of what Satoshi wanted, the whole reason why Bitcoin was created in the first place. But we'll see. We'll see. After the previous article was talking about a 2022 bear market rally, we have a COVID March 2020 style event potentially brewing for Bitcoin, says Luke Grauman. While a multi-year money printing induced bull market is expected by many analysts and perhaps almost consensus, Grauman warns that there will likely be a sharp correction beforehand, potentially triggered by the growth of artificial intelligence. He compares the scenario to March 2020, when the market crash ended up justifying the stimulus that eventually caused explosive rallies in basically all risk assets. They say Bitcoin, I think eventually, sure, it'll do great. Wow, great English. But Bitcoin is still trading like a high beta tech stock. That is just fact. And if we go to an AI-driven deflation, unless Bitcoin starts trading like a reserve asset, then I think the faster that AI goes, the more risk there is that Bitcoin has a COVID March 2020 type thing. If it went from 15 to 50,000 pretty quick, it could do that again. It's not my base case, not the 5,000, but I'm just saying that the type of drop in deflation before the printing starts. The point here is not that I think Bitcoin is going there. The point here is that there's an order of operations that I think is important to mind. Dude, what? That was the most ass backwards paragraph I have ever read. But anyways, you get the point. Got another guy, call him an expert if you want to. Marco Guru, Luke Grumman, says a potential COVID March 2020 style market capitulation could rock Bitcoin and financial markets. So we'll see. This was talking about Bitcoin sliding as the crypto bill stalls, right? The reversal from Wednesday highs followed the Senate Banking Committee's cancellation of crypto market structure markup after Coinbase withdrew its support. Coinbase, Circle, and Strategy were among the crypto-related stocks. We all got notifications about that if you're like with the Stand with Crypto text chain or whatever they do. But yeah, we were rallying. Maybe some people thought that things were going to go well, that things were going to go through, legislation was going to be signed, whatever. But it hit a roadblock on Wednesday. The decline followed Bitcoin's multi-day rise this week, which peaked at almost 98K. And what is Charles talking about? Let's see here. Is he talking about... Okay, I don't know what he's talking about, but let's continue reading. Crypto-related stocks were sharply lower in concert. Coinbase, Circle, Strategy were among those down 3 to 5%. Bitcoin rally this week, which saw its rise from 90,000 to a 2-month high, occurred as global jitters centered around Iran and potential U.S. intervention into the country. U.S.-listed Bitcoin ETF pulled in over $1.7 billion in fresh capital in the first 3 days of the week. Their strongest inflow streak in several months. My back is killing me. The reversal today came alongside signs the U.S. was not going to move on Iran, but also coincide with the Senate Banking Committee canceling the crypto market structure markup scheduled for Thursday. This happened after crypto exchange giant Coinbase pulled their support for the bill late Wednesday. And when was this? So this was the 13th. Today's the 17th. When was this? This was the 15th. All right, so this article comes first. What is this bill about? The bill aims to clarify crypto tokens as securities or commodities. The bill kind of talks about the banking industry opposing the bill, citing financial stability concerns, which could be true depending on the crypto they work with. Crypto firms fear reliance on regulatory guidance without new law. So the clarity, everything that was moving forward with the clarity bill is still being worked out and fine-tuned and adjusted. The fact that Brian and them pulled their support means something in it is not right. I haven't went into the bill. I'm sure somebody in the crypto community went through and redlined it and try to explain it best their abilities. But we'll have to see what happens. But U.S. senators late Monday unveiled draft legislation that would create a regulatory framework for cryptocurrency, which is signed into law, would clarify financial regulators' jurisdiction over the bargaining sector, potentially boosting digital asset adoption. The crypto industry also has long pushed for such legislation, often arguing it's existential to the future of digital assets in the United States and necessary to fix core long-standing problems in the crypto companies. But it didn't get through. That was just this article that I'm reading to you is what came before the previous one I read. But yeah, what is threatening progress is the lack of policymaker engagement, but the relentless pressure of campaign by big banks to rewrite the bill to protect their own incumbency. Says obviously some crypto experts, and obviously a crypto or blockchain person is going to call out the banks, and the banks are going to call out the crypto person. Two different industries. There's got to be a way to kind of reach a middle ground and have it be beneficial for both sectors. Probably won't be beneficial for the blue collar regular folks, but there's still a way for us to make money off of the back of these assholes. I mean people. I mean institutions. But anyways, their demand to eliminate stablecoin rewards are designed to choke off consumer choice and kill innovative financial products before they can compete. Well, you have CDs. You have different assets or different capabilities. You get 5% cash back on your Discover rewards. You get 2% cash back on your Capital One. Why can't stablecoins have some type of reward system? I mean, if the banks are doing it, why can't the stablecoins do it and do it in a way that, again, falls under a constructive, setup, configuration, whatever it should be. The SEC and the CFTC would also be required to issue a joint rule requiring clear disclosures from crypto companies about rewards paid in connection with using stablecoins. So we have to see. Things got pulled back. Things are getting delayed. With Congress already pivoting its focus to the 2026 midterm elections, in which Democrats could take the House, some lobbyists are skeptical that the crypto market structure bill could make it into law. There's crypto and blockchain personnel on both sides of the aisle. I think we would still get it passed. It's going to be a little bit harder because some of the old heads are still in there and in the way and trying to stop it and really don't like crypto. But I think it still could get passed. But we'll just have to see. Maybe they could get it passed before the midterm elections and see what's going on there. But victim loses $282 million in Bitcoin and Litecoin, a hardware wallet scam. Let's take a look at this. What hardware wallet were they using? So Zach XBT, one of my favorites on X/Twitter, usually post about when somebody gets scammed or somebody's scamming you or there's a big like rug pull instance, whatever it might be. He'll tell you about it. He will tell you about it. But another crypto holder just lost $282 million in Bitcoin and Litecoin on January 10th in what blockchain investigator Zach XBT described as a hardware wallet social engineering scam, marking the largest individual crypto theft in 2026 so far. And it, in fact, surpassed a previous notable social engineering hack record of $243 million on August 2024. The latest attacker immediately began converting the stolen assets into Monero through multiple instant exchanges, causing XMR's price to spike sharply. Bitcoin has also bridged to Ethereum, Ripple, Litecoin via Thorchain, and as the perpetrator worked to obscure the funds trail across multiple blockchain networks. The incident eclipsed the August 2024, blah, 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 yada, 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 whatever. The attack involved spoof calls from Google and Gemini support representatives who convinced the victim to reset the two-factor authentication and share screen access via AnyDesk, ultimately exposing private keys from Bitcoin Core. Never. Dude, I can't tell you. I posted it on X. I posted it on YouTube. I get calls and it says Google on it. It is not Google. I get calls and it says Coinbase and it is not Coinbase. I get calls and they say SSI or Social Security. It is not them. Don't fall for this. Please don't fall for this. I know you guys don't fall for this, but if there's anybody new watching, please pay attention. Double check. Don't click links in your email. Don't click links in your text. Don't trust random calls. If you get a random call and you talk to them, challenge them. Ask some hard questions. Who do you truly work for? What's the name of the company? Like, hit them with curveballs. I can't believe this person that had that much Bitcoin literally allowed them to use AnyDesk to gain access to their computer. There must have been something going on that they were needing help with, that's why they did it. Now, we use AnyDesk to connect our miners and to make some adjustments, Windows or other machines, because you can use AnyDesk on multiple platforms. But if your wallets are on there and you're stupidly allowing somebody you don't know, some tech support guy you don't know, to get on your computer and fix things, like, dude, I'm pretty sure you guys can go to the Discord community, whether it's my community, Red Panda's community, whatever, and ask somebody for help. And yeah, y'all can AnyDesk, but at least there's more trust because you trust each other. If you let some random Yahoo just call you, say they're from Google or whatever, Gemini support, convince you to reset your two-factor authentication and then share your screen via AnyDesk, like, I'm just amazed that people fall for that. But I you know what? I say amazed, but I'm not. because I seen some of my own friends and family fall for this crap. Also, by the way, there's something I released a video about it, but there's a conceal authenticator, which is like Google Authenticator, completely devoid of Google, that you can, sync your 6-digit codes that you get to sign into your accounts, your 2FA, via the concealed blockchain, or you can store it locally. I've done a short on it, but I'm probably gonna do like a longer form video, so because I wasn't able to go through all the details in under 3 minutes. But to me, that's a better option than using Google. But any option is better than this. Any option is better than this. Do not fall for this, please. Do your best. But yeah, Zach XBT investigated into the August case, led to multiple arrests and freezing of millions of assets. Box and Grievous were arrested in Miami and Los Angeles, while Wiz was later apprehended by the U.S. Marshals. 12 people were eventually charged in connection with 243 million theft, with a superseding indictment confirming the arrest of Danny, I can't say that, but somebody in Dubai. Persistent threats, blah, blah, blah. The message, they message everyone with prior conversation history, says MetaMask, blah, 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 referring to North Korea hackers using fake Zoom tactics. They're going to use everything. They're going to use every arsenal that they have to get you. It's not just going to be North Korea either. It's going to be somebody from India, somebody from the Philippines, somebody from Mexico, somebody from Argentina, somebody from... These scam operations would love to get a hold of what little bit of assets you have. Whether it's $10, $100,000, or millions of dollars. They would love to get their hands on it. Or even billions of dollars. They would especially love you. So be smart, be vigilant, keep your head on a swivel, and don't fall for this stuff, please. That sucks, dude. I hope you get your money back. I mean, it's stupid that you fell for that, but I hope you get your money back. Because that's probably like, I mean, that's got to be devastating. Anyways, Coinbase CEO says the key crypto vote can be rescheduled for the 11th hour. So just talking about the bill that was canceled. Or like he pulled support, it didn't go through. There needs to be some fine tuning that's done. He's just saying it could happen at the 11th hour. Like it could happen. Don't lose hope. It could still happen. The committee vote was derailed at the 11th hour, but there's still a chance. The likelihood that the latest version of the bill, which was released Monday, would be able to get approval from the bank committee was already tenuous when Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong tweeted on Wednesday afternoon that Coinbase will not be able to support the bill, listing several concerns, including the reduced role of the CFTC and the limits on the ability for crypto to offer consumer rewards in the bill. The banks want the oh my god, the Fed. What's the oh my god, what can I think? There's CFTC. Guys, help me out. There's CFTC, and then there's the other one. Gary Gensler. What was Gary Gensler? I'm brain farting right now. The one that Gary Gensler used to work for. There's that one, and then there's CFTC. The banks want to use the one that Gary Gensler was under, not the CFTC. The CFTC is what the crypto industry wants us to use, not the other one. The SEC. Jeez Louise. I couldn't. My goodness. By the time you type it in, I already got it. You guys suck. No, I'm joking. It's the stream is delayed. We got Red Panda Mining going live here in about 10 minutes and stating a very important question. How many blocks have actually been found by solo miners in the past year? This is a very important question. Hope that you stay tuned for that. Thank you, guys. The SEC. So stay tuned for that. I'll redirect you to Red Panda Mining. I don't think Sapphire came and hung out with us today. Yeah, he doesn't like me anymore. But yeah, hopefully things will go through eventually. Armstrong says we got a chance to do a new draft and hopefully get back into the markup in just a few weeks. Loomis said it could take until February and March to rehold the vote. Now, if this bill turns out, because I think this bill is what started the push up. You know what I'm saying? Like, the market started to climb up before the bill was moved forward and before all this happened. If we get this bill and it's what the crypto legislative people want, that they think is going to be beneficial for the rest of us. Again, these people are making decisions for the rest of us. And it coincides with taxes being, sent to you guys, right? Like we're all getting our tax returns at the same time. This bill's legit. The Clarity Act's moving forward. We got a good bill. This is going to help protect us. This is going to protect consumers and protect banks, whatever. We could have that nice, uptick upward. So we'll see how things go. I feel like I got ran over by a Mack truck, says Loomis, one of the biggest crypto proponents of the Capitol Hill, who has worked in similar legislation for years, but we will get back at it after a break and find some ways to fix the bill. One of the biggest debates about the bill deals with the rewards that companies can offer stable coin holders, which again, they can offer 5% cash back, 12% on travel, blah, blah, blah. Under the stablecoin law, crypto exchanges cannot offer consumers interest on stablecoins. However, they can offer rewards that act like interest. Banks have said the language could lead to hundreds of billions being moved from deposits to stablecoins. One Fed report suggests that they could be a credit squeeze of hundreds of billions to as much as 1.2 trillion if a stablecoin can offer interest. So they're just worried about their previously existing products not enticing the public, and then everybody switching over to stable coins, which I can understand, but then you should make your other products more enticing. If you want people to use your product, you got to make it more enticing to them, or there's got to be some sort of incentive to stay with where they're at. If it's not, then why not go with the better option? So it should create competition within the banking sector. I don't know if everybody's going to flood to stablecoins, but it should create that competition. Banks are also preparing to fight for more favorable language. More than 3,000 banks signed a petition led by American Bankers Association. And again, these guys have some serious horsepower behind their association. Like, these guys have been lobbying for years. So this is an uphill fight. But anyways, the petition led by the American Bankers Association warning that allowing crypto to offer interest-like rewards will siphon trillions from local lending, leaving less money available for car loans, agricultural loans, mortgages, and small business borrowing that drive local economies. Are you sure about that? Or is it just going to take money from your wallets? Everyone agrees that there has to be a compromise somewhere in there and making sure that we're allowing the innovation to grow. And I agree with that. There's got to be a middle ground that the bankers can, and the blockchain proponents can work on to kind of make this work. We'll see, though. Altcoin open interest soared 38.6 billion ahead of the Fed rate cut decision. Open interest in altcoins jumped from 30 billion on September 1st to 38.6 billion on Monday, surpassing Ethereum's. When did this article get written? Hang on a second. Created 4 months ago. Why is this on here? Okay. This is CMC. Let me go back here. That's old, bro. You're killing me, bro. Let's go to altcoins. Elon Musk denies U.S. government plans to use Dogecoin. Cryptocurrency drops 30%. Oh. Meme coin. Sazin. Back. Okay. What is open campus features in economics or tokenomics? Yeah, so Elon did some stuff. Coinbase CEO did some stuff. Some people that are fearful of Bitcoin and the quantum threat did some stuff. Same shit, different day. Not much movement. We did have a nice uptick, as you can see, right? So January's been green compared to October, November, December. All right? Can we maintain that? That's what I want to see. Because you can see right now we're at the top of December high. I want to stay above that. All right? It'd be nice to climb back up to this wedge of 107, but I don't think that would happen. But if we can get up to 101 at least, and maintain 100,000, 102,000, that will be good. But if we did fall back, I still believe that January would be a green month. But yeah, there's not enough steam. I don't think there's enough money in the regular folks' pockets to go and speculate. Yes, there's still a lot of speculation going on. There's still a lot of high leverage plays going on. The reason we pumped in the first place is because there was quite a bit liquidated in shorts. So you could see, like, yeah, Tuesday was a heavy liquidation in shorts. And to me, it kind of seems like if you keep an eye on the chart, right? Like, look at it throughout the day, change it to the shorter time frames, and you see that during the normal, like, weekdays in the United States, during their normal trading hours, we kind of pull back. But then during the evening, the rest of the world is kind of pushing an altcoin or Bitcoin upwards. So is US becoming a big seller? Because it kind of feels like that right now. Is the rest of the world is trying to pump whatever asset, and then when we wake up, we try to dump that asset. But I don't know. We'll see. Any questions, comments, concerns before Red Panda Mining goes live here in about 3 minutes, guys? 3 minutes. Let me check the live chat real quick. Rud's been a member for 35 months. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate you as always. Saw you hang out with Rabbit and Yeti the other day. Appreciate you guys. Let's see here. The Nvidia B300s are some beastly GPUs, especially on mining. Just think of what they can do on Hashcat, says Squirrel Masters. Automatic beat swung by. Audio's been good. Thank you for confirming. I'm turning my old Demo AutoPi into a pen testing device with Kali Linux. Seems like a fun project. Yeah, Automatic Beast, that does seem like a fun project. Is Demo still earning you guys money, the people that use it for their vehicles? Let me know. I'm curious. I never got one, but I know a lot of my colleagues did. Squirrelmaster says that sounds like a fun project. The banks are the problem with it. Yeah, they don't want the bill to pass. They want to give you XYZ offerings, and they think that stablecoins is going to compete too indirectly with them or too directly with them, and going to cause their products to become null and void. Which, again, I say if your products are inadequate, then you should probably update your products. The banks don't want you collecting interest or yield rewards. Yeah, but they want you opening up CDs and locking up your shit for 12 months. Or opening up a credit card and locking you into some shit-ass APR. Because the stablecoins pay better than the banks. Yep. Wasn't it a Ledger wallet? Well, according to this, it was a Bitcoin Core wallet. So yeah, Bitcoin Core, which is the core desktop wallet. And again, if you know where to look, you don't even have to open up the app. You can go get that from app data, blah, blah, blah. In any desk, the thing is you can share your screen and then you can do file transfer. So if the person's thinking I'm sharing their screen, but I'm just doing the file transfer where on the left-hand side I have your computer, on the right-hand side I have my computer, I can just go through your files. I don't even have to do it in front of you where you got to click File Manager and click through that, No, I can just use AnyDesk file transfer tool, and I could be going through your computer files, grabbing the app data, roaming, Bitcoin Core, Ravencoin, Litecoin, whatever, and just dragging and dropping the app data over into my computer. Then I just load up my Bitcoin Core, import, boom, I got your private keys and everything. Or maybe there was a backup and you copy the backup. Oh, Crypto Bedell stopped by. Thank you so much. Red Panda Mining is about to go live, guys. Let's see here. Let me make sure it's muted. I'm going to mute the site for now. I will refresh here in a little bit. Let's see if they messaged me. And I'll finish reading the live chat. But I told him he could go at 11 o'clock. It's all good. I'm so jet lagged. My time is off. All right. Well, 11:30 a.m. is here, sir. Yeah, didn't he go traveling or something? I don't know. I know he was talking about it. Because the stable coins pay more than banks, blah, blah, blah. Yep, don't engage what you initiated. Right, don't trust Habib from Google. Hey, it could be Janice from Google. You don't know that. They need to tackle it now while it can still be modified before having to submit and amend the bill. I agree. if the tax season produces higher tax returns, the normals, that's where the influx of money could come from. Sure. You're going to have record inflows, and you're going to have retail dumping a lot as well. That'd be good. Demo is dead, so Scroll Masters. Cool. All right, Red Panda Mining went live. He got my message. Thank you so much for hanging out with us for Caffeine Crypto. A little bit short of a video this today because time confusion. Red Panda went earlier, or set his time a little bit earlier, but it's not a big deal. We got the topics that we wanted to talk about. I appreciate you stopping by. So do me a favor on the way out, though. And Crypto Bedell, I know you just got here, but thank you for stopping by. I'm going to send you guys over to Red Panda. But on the way out, please hit that like button. Make sure to get subscribed, hit notification bell to stay up to date, as well as check out additional links in the description to help support the channel and what we do here. And I will catch you next time. All right? Take care.